Welcome back. Welcome back. We back for that Turn It Off Right
Yo,
Now
yo, yo, yo,
pod.
yo.
Torn. Yes, sir.
Turn
Torn.
it off right now.
Not yet. Don't turn us off yet. We about to talk about the second half of that crazy season, man. We gonna get into it. All the cliffhangers, all the crazy fights, all the character development. We here. We back at it. We got Paul. We got Haas, aka Samyar. How y'all doing, fellas?
Good. Good.
Man,
Sad
I need
that
some
there's
more.
no
Like,
Invincible tomorrow.
where's
Man, we
your?
straight, man. We straight. We just had a long day at work, but we here now. So,
Yeah, let me get
but
the cornrow check. You got the do rag on.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I need to get it. I need to get it. I'm gonna take it out in like 2 weeks. That's what I'm gonna do rag on. It's a little nappy right now. I'm not gonna lie. But once
Yeah,
I
you
take it
got.
out, it's gonna be like I'm gonna be looking like Dr. J with the fro.
Yeah, but you can't hoop like that, Jay. Just to let you
I'm working
know,
on you.
I am the best hooper in this Zoom meeting right now.
Not according to the list.
I'm gonna either do some IRL videos. Stay in tune. Hey, like and subscribe for IRL videos if y'all want
Yeah,
to see that.
they're coming.
I'll pull up on Paul, drop him off in the Bronx or wherever he lives, up in New York. I'm gonna dox you. Everybody's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
for you.
whatever. Keep talking, dog.
All right, so we're gonna get into the first we're gonna go over, just a recap of like what happened in the first four episodes. Because last time we were here, we did the first four episodes. Those were kind of introductory. The first two episodes pretty good. Third, fourth episode kind of slowed down a little bit. It's fine. Then you get into the second half of the season, which we're gonna talk about episodes 5 through 8, which is crazy. A lot of shit happened in this second half of the season. It was awesome to see Thrag. We got Thrag is a demon that everyone says he was. Everyone was saying he was a fraud after the first episode he was in because he was holding that skull like it was his like play toy. Like
Yeah, bounced
that
out
was
of
his
the
most prized
school.
possession. And then he comes out and does some wild stuff in the next episode. So we're gonna talk about all of that. But what do you guys think about well, hold on. Before we do that, brief summary. Where did we last leave off? Episode 4. We get to Mark. Gets out of Paul's favorite episode. He comes up from hell. That's kind of the filler that we were talking about. But we get through that, and then all of a sudden, what happens? Someone tell me what happens after that.
Oh, he goes to see Eve, and the next thing you know, Omni Man and Alan are
Oh yeah, yeah,
there
yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah.
that they
Yep,
need him. And then
yep.
after
So that's where
that,
we go ahead.
that's when the peak
Yes,
episodes
the
begin.
peak. Yes. So last we left off, he comes back. Nolan and Alan are in the sky looking at them, and they're like, "We need your help because the war's starting. It's time." Those are my words. This is what everyone talks about. All you hear on TikTok is about in the comments. This Will Vills for My War is crazy. You would think that this is the peak, like the climax of the show, but lo and behold, we're only halfway through the comics. We got a whole nother half. I wonder what they're gonna do next. This will be interesting. So, let's just start. Let's just get right into it. Episode 5. We get to see Nolan and Alan come down from Earth or from the ship down to Earth and reunite with Mark and trying to recruit him and some other people, Tech Jacket, to join the Viltrumite War. And what do you guys think of that whole interaction between Nolan coming down and he thinks it's going to be this whole sunshine and rainbows, and lo and behold, your actions actually have consequences, and that people actually do not like you because you did something bad. And he kind of talks about it where he's like, and well, he talks about it later in a couple episodes where he's like, yeah, the Thraxan, it said that you can work hard to like people will forgive you, but it's not like not everyone's like Thraxia where you live like 3 months, and people on Earth actually remember what you do, and we see that with him and Debbie. So what do you guys think of like that whole situation with Nolan coming back from uh his all his past stuff that he did and come back to Earth?
Yeah, I found
Not like,
I like the way they did his interactions with Debbie with the guy who makes the suits.
Hmm.
It was interesting like how they all like obviously Nolan's probably the strongest dude they've ever met in their life and they like acted all tough when they were with him. And then like even like the suit maker like he like basically told Nolan off, like, nah, I only make suits for heroes. You're not a hero. Like, get out of
That's
here.
kind of wild. Like he talking to Nolan like he ain't gonna rip him in half or
That's what I'm
something.
saying. And then as soon as he leaves, he's like, like I was so scared. Like I kind of like the way they did that, even though it feels kind of phony. Like I bet like 99%
But
of
that's like
people
a
would
realistic, thing that would happen.
no, that they would piss their pants as soon as they saw him coming.
I'd piss
Yeah,
my
but if
pants if
you
I saw Nolan.
Yeah, but like if you had that past relationship, you would try to like be nice to him because like maybe you don't
But they
want to set
weren't
him
really
off.
being nice though. Debbie was like talking her talk,
Yeah,
and
Debbie's different. That's like how
but
your
even
wife
the
be.
Am
other
I
guy
still your
wasn't the
pet?
suit maker wasn't that nice either though.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was cordial, kind of fake. He was fake being cordial.
Yeah, because he thought he
Yeah,
was
he
gonna
was fake.
die.
Fake being cool. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Haas, what did you think about that whole thing?
I really like the dialogue every time like Nolan tried to get with Debbie. Like I thought it was like I think the dialogue in the show is great. It makes up for the animation, but like I feel like every time he tried to say that he's making better, everyone kind of just like put it into his face, like, no, nothing you can do can change what you did. Like, or what did Cecil say? He was like almost died 2,713 more times
That was
Yeah,
the
he
than
says
last
him.
that.
episode, but
It's
yeah.
he said that episode 8. But I mean, that's like
But
the
I'm
whole
saying
thing. Yeah.
it's like he keeps trying to say that he's better, he's changing, but everyone's like, well, look at what you
We
did. Look at how many people you killed, who you've hurt, like how you've made everyone afraid. Like you can't just come back here and pretend that everything's changed because it's going to take more than a few I'm sorry's. And it's probably like no one, I mean, a lot of people, I don't know, I haven't read the comics, but most people probably aren't going to forgive him. And if they do see him back on Earth, they're going to be terrified that he's there.
Yeah, I think that this, from what I've read on TikTok, this is like an improvement because, like, in the comics, they show how like he's basically forgiven just like that, and like Debbie's like texting back easily, which I think that's like not realistic in this situation where he just basically destroyed half the planet, or not half the planet, like half of the United States or whatever he was doing. And I it kind of makes you don't feel for him, but like you can understand, like you've seen his path of him trying to redeem himself, but like none of the people on Earth have seen that, and I think that was good. Like he's been in space like the last year and a half or however long he's been in the show since season 1, so I think that it's like, yeah, obviously he's gotten better. Like we've seen that as a like the audience like watching the show, but none of the people like Cecil has never seen. Like you talk about it in episode 8. He's like, yeah, you almost died for us, but you know I didn't see it like die way more, and I'll maybe forgive you. And so I think that they do a good job with handling all that, and I think that there was a good scene before Mark goes off with him and Eve, and like he's really worried about going off into this war and leaving her, and she's also torn with the fact that she's pregnant that we see in the last episode where she wants to tell him, but she also wasn't don't want that burden on him will even hurt him even more. I think that they've done better with their relationship at the big, like when they first got together, it was just like them fucking like we just get right all the time, and I think they've done a better job of fleshing out like their relationship, making it more like they're more compatible because they're like obviously they're both heroes, and it was different with him and Amber, but I think they're doing a better job in like the last half of the season of fleshing out their relationship. What do you guys think of that little interaction they had before he went off into space? If you have any comments on that.
I feel like she should have told him. Like, I mean, but I kind of understand why she didn't because if he's out there, the only thing he's going to be thinking about is I'm gonna have a kid on the way. But at the same time, she doesn't know if he's going to come back.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I feel like she should have told him, but for like the story's sake, I like how he didn't know and he went to war and I liked how everyone thought like they were all dead essentially when they came back because
Yeah.
they were gone for
Month. I think.
4 or 9 months. Because I
Uh,
know,
well, I know he recovers for 2 months, but then
yeah,
like he gets hurt again after the fight with Thrag. It probably was like 6 months or something like something crazy like that. Because she looked, hey, we'll talk about that, but she thick as hell when he comes back.
I like how
Yeah,
first
I liked Eve's approach. I remember y'all were all saying like, nah, she should have told him. But like she knows Mark, she knows Mark. Like even Mark said it afterwards. He was like in episode 8, he was like, "Nah, I would have stayed. Like I should have stayed. Like I can't believe I left you here." Like she knows Mark would have done that, and her carrying that burden by herself. I wish she had more people to talk to, but I think holding it back from Mark wasn't the best interest of their relationship and also the planet possibly. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like you think in real life, I mean, not saying that you're in that situation, like you would feel some type of way if your girl didn't tell you that
I
she
would
just got an
imagine
abortion
if
without you.
like I could imagine people who go off to war, if they get their significant other pregnant, that
You
significant
would
other
probably want to
not
know.
telling them they're pregnant while they're there. They would tell them once they're deployed, like maybe while they're gone, but they wouldn't tell them before because they wouldn't go
Yeah.
unless it
Yeah,
was
that's
just like
true.
a one and done type
Well,
of thing.
yeah, that's a good point. But I
There's
mean,
probably also that thought in the back of your head. It's like, I can't die now. Like, I have to be back.
yeah, it could also
I
give
have
them
to.
that extra motivation too. I know that's
No,
what
I'd be
some
like you
people
playing
say.
scared though. It's like when you come back from an injury, you like I don't want to hurt my leg, and it's like
I
you don't
never play
try as
scared.
hard because you're so worried about hurting your leg.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
Or,
Valid points. Some good valid points. All right, so we get that interaction, and then they pick up Tech Jacket, which I mean, at first she was a throw-in, like it was gag character. She like a throw-in in a trade. She like a throwaway bench player that you get in the trade. But like, yeah, that's what she is. She turned out to be a project. Like she developed into a facilitator at the end of it. But so we get on this get on a spaceship. And I also bring Oliver too. And this was like a little different in the comics I was seeing that, he's pretty mad at Nolan for abandoning him basically, which I think that's also pretty realistic because he looked up to him and he has the O on his chest for Omni Man. Um, and he just basically Omni Man didn't want to see him, and when he was there on Earth, and but when Mark brings him, he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, no, he shouldn't be here. I don't want to see him. Basically, he's trying to push him away. And then we see like Nolan's like, "I wanted to protect him from me." Um, which I mean, I think that's good. Kind of seeing like, I don't want it to be like he's just forgiven in all accounts and he's got to earn his trust, which is good. So we see they'll get on the ship. They start flying out to space. I think they're going to the home base, and then they get is it hijack or not hijack, but like ran up on by the Viltrumites, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, and we see that, and Conquest is back, which is it's funny that Mark never talked
He
about.
never.
He
It's
never talked about it with Cecil. I seen that. Like, is that a plot hole?
I'm
Like, maybe it's just like he was gone for so long it didn't matter. But
not sure, but I love that meme. It's like the animation. It's like Mark knocking on the window and like Cecil's breaking. He's like, "Hey Cecil, guess who I ran into?" Like, you're never gonna believe it. He's like,
yeah,
it's like Conquest. He's like, "Yeah, my guts out everywhere. He was rearranging my guts." And then
yeah,
he like
I
breaks
see
through the
that.
glass and like, yeah.
I mean,
But
like
yeah, I
yeah,
thought that was
I think
interesting.
Cecil when Conquest first left was like obviously he was very distraught and he was like crap, like
Hmm.
I can't let anyone know about this. So obviously he wouldn't bring it up. And Mark doesn't care to see Cecil, so he's not gonna go see Cecil. So I'm sure Cecil just went ghost for a little bit until until Mark brought it up to him. But he
Yeah,
still
so we
didn't
get.
bring it up at the end of the season either.
Yeah,
Which is
I
kind
mean,
of
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it just not gonna come back up? Like, is it just gonna he's gonna? But bygone. He was still there at the end of season 8 talking to Cecil and never brought it up. So
well,
maybe
I
he
mean, he
did.
was just so traumatized. He
Yeah,
couldn't.
I think he's just
He
too
was so worried
You would
about
traumatized.
think that he
Thrag.
would be like all the things of the war. He would think about that and be like, "Hey, I did not kill Conquest, and you're sitting right here, and then I had to fight him again." You would think that he would think about
I think he was more worried about where the heck are the Viltrumites, that especially where the heck is Thrag
that.
in
Right.
this universe. And then I think that was that before Eve told him that she had the abortion.
No, I think it was after, because
Yeah,
then
so it was
after
after
all, that
that.
was
So
like
that's
the last
another thing
time when
on
he was
his
like, "I need
mind,
help."
thinking
But
about her.
yeah,
He's
we're
not
getting
thinking
too
about
far.
Conquest. He's not worried about. He's worried about his brother. He's worried about Conquest. He's worried about everybody else
Yeah,
Just
but
worry about where
Conquest.
Thrag is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to the they hijacked them. We're still on the Sophi. They hijacked the ship, They basically destroy most of it, but there's a little vessel that escapes, and Alan's girlfriend, I forgot her name,
Talia?
Talia. Yeah, they escape. But everybody else stays back and fights the Viltrumites that are there. They got Lucan, the mullet guy, I don't know his name, and then Conquest. And this is an intense fight. Like I didn't know if they were gonna like how is it gonna work? Like they're just gonna was he gonna lose? Like I mean Oliver's getting fucked up. Like man, Oliver man, he is the biggest fraud I've ever seen in
Bro,
my
he be
life, by
doing
the way.
too much.
Bro, he
Announcing he's
think he
about to
like
pull up
him.
on you.
Bro thinks he's the main
How can you
character.
be a fraud when like you were never built up to be anything to begin with? Like we all know Oliver can't fight. You can't be a fraud if you can't fight.
Yeah, but dude, him like announcing to Thrag that he's about to pull up on him is just like, dude, what are you doing?
And
Like,
then in
just
Conquest, he's like, what do you do? What do you say, Conquest or something? I don't know. He's like, I've gotten stronger, and then he did do a little damage. He hit him with some jabs, but those are like tickles of Conquest. Conquest grabs his head and is about to squeeze his head together. That's like some Mortal Kombat stuff. Where he's about to squeeze his head and crush it. And then I think Nolan comes and saves him.
Nolan tells him to go breathe at the other planet, and he
Oh
gets
yeah, yeah, that
there, and
too.
then there's that shot of like Conquest trying to like dunk on
He's
him.
about to dunk on him. That's And then Conquest does this fight is pretty good. Conquest says to Mark, or he's like, "Ah, I thought I killed you," and he's like, "Nah, all right, it was mostly your girlfriend." I thought that was kind of funny. It was like, you don't do anything, Mark. You're just support. And then he's like, Mark's like, you want me to you're gonna tell me your deepest thoughts again? He's like, that was in confidence.
Yeah.
That, that was pretty funny too. And then, so they go to I'm pretty on the edge of my seat. I'm always waking up in the morning watching these. I ain't gonna lie. I can't find no spoiler. I be getting up at the crack of dawn to watch these episodes. So I'm up. It's like 5 a.m. I'm like, oh, they getting active for real. And then this might be we'll talk about your favorite moment, but this might be my favorite moment. Like when they're fighting, he's choking them out, and it's just like sheer willpower. And well, I know like everyone's like, oh, but the power scaling, like this doesn't make any sense. Like, how is he able to do this? Which I mean, we we got there's the author does not like the adrenaline theory, and I think that cleans up most of it. If you just say that, like you're the author, you can do whatever you want, but like you having these like bullshit explanations for why Mark is able to do the things he does is like doesn't make any sense. So what you guys think of like that whole fight in versus him in Conquest?
So did they give an explanation for how he did that?
Bro, he's Mark, bro. He
Explanation.
just do it. Yeah.
I heard you.
He's the main character, you know. No, I thought,
No,
dude,
I
he
mean
just
they
keeps
choked him out.
choking.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, no, he just kept choking him out, and I
yeah,
liked how it was just like even when he was choking out Conquest was still fighting, and then Mark bit off his finger, and then as soon as you saw him like straighten out his hand, you knew something was gonna happen. But then, dude, he just
yeah.
kept pulling. I feel like, what was he trying to go for his heart or something?
Yeah, he had to have been because
Because if
that's
you
the
take
only
it's like, yeah, the only way they die is the heart or the head.
yeah the only way you can kill them. Like their intestines are seen as like hard. Like it's not like you can't like rip them. Oh, like you can't destroy his intestines. Like they're in like very durable apparently, and they're able
And
to heal
Conquest
themselves.
just
Yeah, and
pulling that
that's
shit out.
also what he said. Like they're able to heal, like they have regeneration ability anyway. So I think that
I don't know. I thought that. I mean, like, yeah, it was like
that was a cool shot. You can say that was a good shot. You can
it was
say that
nasty.
was a good
Honestly, it
fight.
was really
It
nasty.
was
Like I was just watching. Like when it first
Yeah.
started, I was like, okay, like that's
So you
pretty
looked
disgusting.
away. So
And
you
I
was
didn't look away. I
scared.
kept looking, but it was like 5 minutes later. I'm like, we
It
still
was like
doing this?
the sound effects for me. He was like,
It was so quiet. The sound, like the music was gone. It was just watching
it was,
him pull
and
for
it
five
was good
minutes.
voice
Like,
acting because he was like ah. It was
disgusting.
good.
Literally
It was good.
disgusting.
That
I
might
did
be my
not
favorite
like
moment.
that. I did not think it
And,
was needed.
and
Uh, I just
then
think it
you
was
get the
like
go
the
ahead.
ending of that
I just think it
episode.
was for like the Gore fans. Like I'm sure the Gore fans loved it, but for me, it was just
I'm
like
not a gore guy, but like I just that was a good fight. It was sheer willpower from
it
Mark.
Yeah,
wasn't even
yeah.
a fight. It
Yeah, it
was just
I
him
was.
also
choking. It was him choking him, and then he just pulled his guts out eventually.
Go ahead.
I think that just showed how strong Conquest is too. Like he's dying, but he's still trying to kill Mark. Like Mark has him in this what Mark is choking him out for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe more, and like Conquest just still, dude, for the love of the game, Conquest, dude. Was it the same
Yeah,
episode where at the end they trolled that like he was gonna come back for a
no,
second, or was
I
that
think
the
that was the
next
next
episode?
episode. But
That was funny too.
speaking of the next episode, we're gonna get to episode 6 where it picks up right where they left off the show. They kind of fake you out. I mean, everyone knows that Mark's not gonna die, but they open up with Nolan. He's burying somebody, and everyone's like,
Conquest.
oh, yeah. Well, obviously it's Conquest, but like they kind of try to fake you out
Oh,
and
my
say,
bad, my
oh,
bad, my
it's
bad.
Mark. Are you burying Mark? Like is he dead? But no, he's alive. He's just knocked out or like in he's in a hyperbolic time chamber basically for Viltrumites where he just sits there and they feed him slob and that could be like if he has a hole in his chest and he's eating food wouldn't it just come out as the hole in his gut?
Well,
I
that's why they
mean,
were just giving him liquids,
yeah, that makes sense. But
and
I
then they
think this
needed
was
like the
a
more protein.
Yeah, that
mhm.
really don't make any sense now. Think about it. Yeah, keep going.
We don't have to talk about all the plot holes. It's good. It's good TV for the most part. Um, well, and then this is a good episode for Nolan and Oliver developing the relationship. I thought that was a good dynamic they had where, it basically shows Nolan being sorry for all the things he did to Oliver and his people on his old home, Thraxa, and that his mom wasn't really a mistake because we find out that in episode 5 that he heard what he had said to Debbie about her being a mistake, and he's the toxic champion. Like he just saying whatever to get back in them cheeks.
Hmm.
But like so he's like yeah, no, it was an accident, like or it was a mistake. Like I didn't mean it. But now he's backtracking it and saying, no, I was just in the moment saying like some crazy stuff. But I thought that was a good I'm obviously exaggerating it, but that's basically what had happened. And I think this was a good for both their characters where it shows Oliver he doesn't really get any strength, but it shows him fighting and training. And what do you guys think of that whole dynamic of the episode of Oliver and Nolan?
Yeah, I liked it a lot because once again, it wasn't just like a quick Oliver and Nolan. Like it took like kind of the whole episode for them to kind of like bond, and then, but I guess you can kind of see that Nolan is more protective of Oliver compared to how he was with Mark, and like that's why he
Mm-hmm.
didn't want him to come at first. But this episode, he's like starting to train him. They go together to get the eggs, so they're fighting together. It's just like a slow bond that kind of builds up after all the stuff that Oliver's heard about him and what he heard Nolan say to Debbie. So I kind of like, yeah, like I said, like the dialogue in the show is really good, especially when it comes to like Nolan's redemption and even Oliver, who barely knew him, hated him at first. And
Right.
kind of like this season, you kind of feel that like both his sons are once again starting to get back and like their dad compared to how they were just afraid of him and never wanted to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm tired of this. Like,
We know you hate Nolan. Just say it's a good
I don't not
part.
like no. I'm tired of the redemption arcs, both for him and Mark. Like, I'll talk about this
What do
later. I don't want
what
to
do you
get
mean
too much
Mark's
into it now.
redemption arc?
But like, it's just that I'm tired of no like knowing if you chose to be the enemy, you chose to live this life. Like, yes, you can change, but like,
So you gotta stick to one mode your whole life. If you use one
nah.
thing, you can't
Okay, I see what you're
change to do
saying.
something else.
I'm fine with them changing. I'm just tired of it being like I'm gonna change for good and everything's gonna be okay. Like it's like I'm just like, bro, like this is the same show I've watched a million times already. Like give me
I
some
mean, I
more
don't think they're
complexity.
going that route, but I mean, we could see where. I mean, I don't know. We'll see where
Oliver
it
only
goes.
likes him because they fight on the same team and he sees him as like a good dad now. If he still saw him as a bad dad, they wouldn't be cool. I don't want him to be cool with anybody.
So I'm confused. Your dad is your dad. Like you want to bond with your dad. Like is you a son? You trying to bond with your father for real?
He
You
didn't
ain't
really
never had.
want
He
to
ain't never
though.
had a father. He
He
want.
didn't necessarily want that.
Yeah, he did.
Paul,
He
he
was.
had Paul.
He idolized him for his whole
He
life.
idolized him. That don't mean he want a father. He idolized a superhero, not a father.
Yeah, but everyone. He knew that was his father. He wanted to know. He wanted to know him.
I don't think so.
What?
I'm just like, dude, like, why can't he just be like a mercenary who Like no one really likes like why can't he be like Battle Beast? Like no one really cared for Battle Beast, but he fights for the team that he wants to fight for, and he gets the job done. Kind of
That's
like
boring.
I wish they would have put him more into that mold instead of like now he's getting all these people back into his life and everything's turning out for him because he
I mean,
decided.
it's not gonna. I mean, it could be different. Like this, the comic had him. I mean, he had to work a little bit more for his.
100%, but like it's moving in that direction. I'm just tired of it. Like
So you don't think it's? Are you don't think it's a good? Are you think they're doing a good job portraying that, or you just don't want to see it?
I don't think it's when you do what he did. Like I'm fine with
Uh,
him changing, but not everybody's view of you should just change too. Like you
well,
still
no, with
that dude.
Cecil don't see him
Yeah,
the
and I
same.
love that. I love
Well,
that
I
Cecil
think
sees
it's
him as a
different for
mercenary.
family. Like that show.
Nah, you on
Why
this
not?
family stuff. I don't care. No, I don't care.
So you don't. You're a liar. I don't believe that. How's what you think about that?
Oh
You
yeah, I mean,
you got some. You go ahead.
I see how you mean with like the family thing, because like even in that episode, like during the 2 months there, at the end, that he finally called him dad. Like he never, I don't think he like ever called him dad once, and then he also admitted to having like enjoying the time on the planet while Mark was healing. So I mean, but at the same time, he doesn't really know what Nolan did. Like he's just heard stories, but he doesn't like know to the extent of how bad it was.
That's
Well,
a great
Mark
point.
forgave him a little bit. He hugged him at some point in this series.
Yeah, I'm
There's
tired
that
of all
one
this
scene
forgiveness stuff,
where
man. Get all this forgiveness stuff out of here.
Nolan was pissed at
You don't like
Oliver, and he
forgiveness?
looked like he was about to whoop his ass, and Mark was just like, "Don't do it."
That's a whole nother conversation if you don't like forgiveness in general.
We also saw this season though, like why Nolan did the thing to Mark, where he like whooped his ass, where
Yeah.
his parents whooped his ass earlier. So it's kind of like, I guess, a full circle moment because you never really knew. At least I didn't know in the other seasons why he really his eyes were like enlarged with rage, and then I'll have you, Dad. I'll have you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he ever like hated his dad or nothing. He just didn't really understand. And I think Nolan was like, I mean, obviously he's been alive for 1,000 years. He's lived this way for 1,000 years, and 20 years is not like a, it's like a speck for him. So it's hard for him to switch it. And even still, it still shows him in like episode 7 and 8, him being struggling to like blow up his planet and fight Thrag, and he's still struggling with that. So I mean, I think they're doing a good job with his arc. I think that's pretty good so far. And then the side plot in episode 6 was, I think it was Alan and Tech Jacket, and we see this at the end of season or episode 5. They are stranded because the ship leaves, and they gotta hop on the Viltrumite ship, and they don't know that they're on there, and they show them playing games, showing a little budding friendship between them that could be good, and
I like
uh,
that. That was probably my favorite part of the episode.
Tech Jacket and Alan. Oh, episode 6. Okay.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
shows them getting back to what's that planet they was on? I forgot.
Celestria.
Telestria, yeah, with Thaddeus, and it shows. Oh yeah, so he heals. This is all episode 6. Mark heals up. He's got a Chinese beard. He's half Korean, so he got that little patchy ass beard. That shit nasty. Uh, and they fly off to Telestria to help out, and he's been out for 2 months, which is different. In the comics, he was out like 6 months, so they cut
Six.
it down. They cut it down a lot. I think that's good because you don't want like too much time to pass by. So they get there and they fight and this is where everyone's calling Thrag. This is where we first see Thrag, and everyone's saying he's a fraud because he's in the ship. Which I mean, if they show him he's really as powerful and he's staying in his ship and just petting his skull, that was I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, that's something you could say as a plot hole. Like, why he didn't get out of the ship and just kill everyone right then and there when he's on his enemy's turf? And like, I could see why people are saying he's a fraud right then and there. And Parks is not here today, but he was on his fraud list for that. So, what do you guys
Keep
think of that
shedding,
whole
bro.
battle on the thing?
There's
I
something
mean,
I
that's
read about like ancient war tactics, and it was like a lot of people would have their leader like just sit in the back and not move while all the other people would fight, and the fighters would know. everything's okay as long as he stay in his chair because he's not worried about losing.
Right.
And that's kind of like how I saw that was like Thrag had confidence they were gonna win as long as there were no other Viltrumites around. So he was just chilling, petting his skull, letting his henchmen do the work, if you will. I thought it was okay. I kind of liked the snake, the big alien who like put the guards down so they could get it. The Viltrumites can get in on
You like
the
the snake, the
huh?
The
the random
bowl.
side carrier that they
Yeah, yeah.
murked.
I like that. That was a nice little. It
Uh,
shows that there's holes in the coalition.
well,
I think that's going to play a part in the future.
I thought that it was gonna be someone more like integral to the story. I thought it was gonna be like someone like what if it was Talia or is that her name Talia?
Yeah, Talia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought what if it was her like she loving on Alan, but she really like that'd be crazy.
Who knows? Maybe
Uh,
she might
But it
later. But
just
I think it showed holes in the coalition, which I did like
yeah, it
that
shows yeah
idea.
I think that just shows that like literally like you would think that it's someone important, but it's just someone they never heard of. Like that's how easily they can be manipulated to work for
the
Dragonol.
Viltrumites. Yeah, the
That's whatever
Viltrumite
what's it
serves.
called? The beam hit like Thaddeus and all when they were in the building, and then Thaddeus took
Yeah,
off his shirt and started whooping ass.
yeah. Thaddeus, he turned out to be a dog. I thought he
He
was
looked
gonna
like
be.
Zeus.
Yes, I thought he was gonna be trash. I thought he was just
Thaddeus
a face, but he really a
Thaddeus
dog. Like
was
he was
like
whooping on
that.
everybody.
He was like that.
He was whooping on Craig. Craig
He said
or
he was like
Craig.
Craig, you were always weak.
Yeah, like he was dominating him, bro. Yeah, and then they show them blowing up the ship, which I thought was a cool shot.
Mark and Oliver.
Yeah, Mark and Oliver destroying the ship, and then
Also,
they
I know it doesn't
all.
really matter, but now that I think about it, like, why? How old is Thaddeus? Because he's the only one that looked like he was like old age, but he knows Craig, he knows Thrag, and they
Well,
look
he
like
like
middle age, like
He
Nolan.
older than all of them. He was there with Argyle, the
Yeah,
first
well
but
time.
like, how much older? Because Nolan's been alive for 2,000 years, like, and he's
Probably
barely
4,000
aged
years old.
past 30. Same with Thrag, same with Craig, same with all of them.
Nah, I think Omni Man's like probably Omni Man's probably like he's probably like he's in his like 40s of being a
Yeah, he
Viltrumite.
looked like he 40. Okay, either way, but Thaddeus looked like he
Thaddeus
got a
is
gray
Thaddeus is like
confirmed.
beard and
60.
bald.
It says
Thaddeus is
Thaddeus
like
is
in his
confirmed to
60s.
be over 5,000 years old.
Yeah, he's like in his 60s of being a Viltrumite.
Was it
I will say
episode 7 that showed
the purge.
Thaddeus? Yeah, okay, that was episode 7.
Yeah, we'll get to episode 7. Before we talk about that,
Oh,
so
but yeah, the ending of episode 6, yeah.
yeah, episode ending episode 6, they destroy the ship. They the it shows the Viltrumites all retreating back to Viltrum, the planet, and they push the ship out. Which that's another power scaling thing because in season one, Nolan picks up like a big ass mountain that's like the size of the planet, and they have to like pick up this ship that's like I guess it's big, but like they all got to pick it up. It's like
I think
another.
Mark was hurt. Like Mark, I think it showed that like Mark was kind of weak
Uh,
from so he needed help, and then I don't know, power of
Yeah, I mean
friendship
that's the
almost.
only like yeah, I mean that could be a thing that if you want to nitpick, that could be like power scaling. Like, why are they all helping out on this ship? Like you can all push it out easily because it shows like in season one, Mark pushing back an Astro. I seen that on TikTok, and then it shows him like struggling to pick up the ship, which could be a little thing. But so after that, Thaddeus is told they're going back to Viltrum. He's like, good, now we can go finish the deal, like seal the deal. They're gonna go finish it, and that's where episode 6 ends off. And
He
then
also shows Nolan the Scourge virus, right? And like
uh,
Nolan
that
like
was
grabs his. Was that
yeah,
the
that
end
was
of
episode
episode
6,
6?
right?
That
Or
was
no, that was
episode six,
episode
yeah.
2. That was episode 2. That was in the first half, right? Yeah,
No. Oh
yeah,
wait,
it
actually,
was.
yeah, I think it was the first
Yeah,
half.
it was in the first half. That was in
You're
the first
right.
half. But yeah, and so that's where episode 6 ends, and it shows this funny teaser of are they gonna bring
You're right.
Thrag back? Like, and then it shows
Conquest
like it's
back. Conquest back.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
conquest,
yeah, it was Conquest. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it builds up the music, and then it goes silent, and then I was like, all right, good, like leave him
That was
dead, like
funny.
we don't need it come back, we don't need everybody to come back, we need some people to die,
That's
and
part of
so
that episode.
yeah, so it gets to that, and then this is episode 7, which is probably my favorite episode. And it starts off with Thrag's background. What you guys think of Thrag as a character? I know some people are saying like his voice was wish it was darker or deeper, like bolder. Like, but what do you guys think of like Thrag as a character, uh,
I
in
think they
general?
did a great job making it like every time he was on screen, you were kind of like on edge. Like
Yeah,
anytime he was on screen, you're like, what's gonna happen? What is he gonna do? Like he was kind of like, I'm gonna say, I liked him. I liked that. I liked Thrag a lot. I
I
thought his
like.
voice was good.
Yeah. I thought, I mean, he's pretty rational though for his like evil, or not evil. He's not even, I mean, evil. He's trying to preserve his species, obviously. So he's gonna do whatever it takes. But I think he's pretty rational about. You could say it's plot holes too. We'll talk about that. He could easily kill everybody here, but like, it's not. It's in the writing a little bit where they like. I think they do a good job of saying that he values his race over everything, and that's why he keeps the all these enemies alive. His ops, like he keeps them alive because he needs them to populate.
Repopulate.
Yeah, and so Paul, what did you think of Thrag in general, like as a character?
Yeah, he's not really just like this evil warlord, like you said. Like I think he's something like he's a war general. Like he knows his history. He's like studied strategy. He's someone who like has planned things out, and he's not overly just like yes, he has emotion. We see his emotion in episode 7, but like he's pretty calculated and tries to go about that the best he can. Like I'm impressed with the way they showed Thug.
Yeah, so I think Thrag was amazing. I think he lived up to the hype after everyone saying he's a fraud. So it starts off episode 7, which is showing like the Empire pre-Thrag reign when it had Argyle running it, and it shows them sparking the idea of Thaddeus or defecting from the Empire, and they're like, these guys are fighting back, and it's like, and Thaddeus is like, isn't that good? Like, we don't want to take everybody over, basically, is what he was saying, and everyone's looking at him like crazy, and they're like, hell nah. And then it shows like, Thaddeus taking out Argyle in the. How does that happen again? How did it show that?
After the meeting, it like cuts to Thaddeus hiding on top of, I guess, the roof of where Argyle was, and he had a dagger. That was Optimus Prime and Megatron, the voice
I did
actors.
I did see some. I did notice that Daddy's voice every time he talked sounded like it was about to cut to the Transformers end credit scene. That's what it sounded like every time he was talking.
Thought that was a
Um,
cool little Easter egg though.
Yeah, it
But
was kind of like some assassination of Caesar type
yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mean, a dagger can kill them. I mean, I guess maybe.
probably cut off his head,
Yeah,
which
probably.
is why the skull was there.
Yeah.
But
So then, go ahead.
wasn't wasn't Thrag like saying they should wipe out like 75% of the people, the ones that were retaliating when they were like blowing up all the shit?
Yeah, he said we should take everybody, or not everybody, but a large
No,
portion of their
large
portion of
portion
their.
to show that like we're
Just
not
yeah,
to be messed with. And then
yeah.
Thaddeus was like, no, we shouldn't do this. And then what's it called? Argyle was like, do you not agree, Thaddeus? And he was like, all right, let me step back real quick, then kill this guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was it showed pretty well, but I was confused on the next scene, but I got it clear. It was like I think I inferred that it was before the Scourge virus because he was like, it shows them having a funeral for Thrag or for what's his name, Argyle,
Argyle.
and Thrag is sitting there and he's like, we need to get out all the traitors. And he looks back at the black guy. Of course, he's black. And he's like, are you going to betray me? He's like, nah. He's like, I don't believe you. He's like, man, nah. And he slices his head off. I'm like, yo, this man is a demon. Bro, didn't waste no time. And then I mean, they just go on a rampage basically from there. It's just like, it even shows this kid
The
getting jumped
kid
by the other kids. I'm like,
got
yo,
3v1.
yeah, he was
Fight
getting
back.
he was getting volleyball like pinballed around. I'm like, dang, bro. Like, but I thought that
Fight
was
back,
like,
fight back. Let him get up, let him get up.
I mean, it kind of shows like well, the Viltrumites are like pretty dumb. Like, how does their society work if they just all they do is
So
just
I'm saying
kill
they just
each
murked
other?
each other.
Like, how do they have a functioning society and they're just murking each other like
Because they conquered all
regardless?
the planets, bro. They got slaves doing the work, and they
Yeah,
repopulate
yeah,
slowly.
I mean,
I guess
I
they're just
guess
trying to
so.
like weed out all the weak Viltrumite, but
Yeah.
like they killed so many that they made like a Jupiter type ring around their planet.
No, I think that was from the
Oh, that
virus.
was from the Scourge virus?
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah,
the
both.
other one
yeah,
was like just a purge to like get rid of all the people who could possibly betray him. Because I was thinking about this, like, you know, or I saw a video on this too, like, and it made me think, like, if he sees, like, if he leaves, like, any chance to, like, anybody else, defecting, and they could form, like, a little group and, overpower them. So, that's pretty calculated, but it was brutal scenes of, just a bunch of Viltrumites getting ripped apart. And it was a good scene. I liked it. And then that's when it gets to, flash forward to present day, and it shows the coalition flying to Viltrum, getting ready for the battle, and they're all on edge because they're like, "What's gonna happen? Like, we're gonna be able to take them out?"
They tell
And
Oliver to not go after him.
yeah,
They
it's
tell
a
him not to one-on-one him. They're like, no one-on-one Thrag, and then
yeah. So they're not even they don't even get to the planet all the way, and they're already waiting for them. They're sneak attacking. They're hiding in the dead
yeah, they're
bodies.
hiding in the dead. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was good. They're hiding in the dead bodies, and Thrag's just sitting there menacing. He's not even moving. He doesn't move at all.
Just
And
cross-armed.
like, it was a pretty cool scene. That so they start fighting. They come out, they sneak attack them. They're fighting, and Space Racer comes in from left field, shoots the missile, kills one Viltrumite, and Thrag's just like this. He doesn't even
Doesn't
move. He
phase
just goes
him.
like this. I thought that was a cool scene. That was pretty cool. And Space Racer also brings I forgot their name, like the reptile things, the dinosaur looking things that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
killed
yeah. I know what you
the
mean.
Viltrumites. They like overpowered them. That was a pretty cool scene, and it's just like a brawl, good action, great action, and it shows, you know, uh,
Dinosaurs.
the dinosaurs. No.
No,
That's
that
That's
that's
was
the
the
that's
first.
guy.
I forgot the names, but
Yeah,
Nolan attacks Thrag like moves out of the way, like dodges like easily, and just knocks him all the way into the atmosphere of Viltrum.
Ragnar's, that's what
And
it is.
yeah, Rob Norris. Okay, that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Space Race had those.
And he
But it shows
jukes out Nolan.
did you think Thrag was too strong? Cause like he was going crazy. What'd you guys think of like his power scaling?
I mean, I think that's why what's it called? They waited 5 seasons to show him because isn't he like the strongest Viltrumite?
Yeah, but
I mean,
also like Conquest took out. I mean, is he that much stronger than Conquest?
I think so because
Conquest
remember,
didn't want
even
to fight him during the
Conquest, yeah,
purge.
I was about to say Conquest didn't even want to fight him because they were like, that's enough, and he like clenched up his fist, but he didn't do anything. I don't know. I thought that was cool whenever Thrag just like flew back an inch, and then and then Nolan turns around and he just like
Yeah, that
punches him
was.
into the planet, and then he's like, I just want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think I love Thrag. Like, I thought he's a really good character, but I was just like curious, like, how are they gonna beat him? Like, he's OD strong,
Bro,
bro.
he's so
Like,
strong. He literally made a cyclone whenever he uppercutted Nolan.
yeah, we get and so he gets knocked down to Earth by Thrag, and then or Viltrum by Thrag, and then they're talking, and he's like, "You can join us still. Like, I value our race over everybody." And Nolan's like, "No, we don't need to do that anymore." Basically, they're going head to head, and he's like, "Nolan's like, we're gonna have a problem," or something like that. And then Thrag's like, "Okay." He basically airbends this nigga all the way into the atmosphere, bro. Like he 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 had an own gravitational pull on his fist. Like, bro, that's
Bro,
OD.
he punched Nolan so hard, Nolan flew away from the fight too.
Yeah, like he was still flying away, went through all the bodies, so gets knocked into the atmosphere. I've never seen nothing like that. That was crazy. Um,
This is where Allen also stepped up too. Whenever Tech Jacket was
yeah,
shooting the Viltrumites with like the little, I guess it made them weaker, and he was
yep.
just
So
uppercutting everybody.
yeah, that's a
Space
callback from
Racer was murking some
episode
people.
2,
Yeah, that's
where
the
they
bug
like,
juice.
yeah, the beer's getting that bug juice, and they said it like makes them weaker to physical damage. And Allen is strong, like he is on par with like probably like a weak Viltrumite. He ain't on the par of like a no Nolan or what's his name? Thrag. You think he's on the power? You think he's on the level of Nolan? Paul? Maybe he could end up being like that, but I don't think he's there yet. Um, Yeah, but but they show him like destroying them in one punch, and I thought that was a good scene. Battle Beast didn't really do too much. I thought he was gonna do more.
He
Yeah,
got a little jetpack murked by Thrag.
yeah, Thrag was like no,
And then
and
Thaddeus got like his back cut by that girl with the girl that Nolan literally ripped her mouth in half in season 2.
yeah, how is she
She had
still? She had
I
no,
don't know, but
well,
like she
well,
ripped
everyone
Thaddeus's
survives her.
back, and then Craig went to like rip it open, and then Thaddeus was like, "Thread, you suck," and like murk and like beat his ass.
Yeah, Thaddeus is pretty OP too. I mean, which is also crazy because in the next scene, like he just we'll talk about that, but like, um, yeah. So what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, we get there, comes back up from the planet, and then we see fucking Oliver thinks he's like Superman or something. He's coming in, he's like, or I'm gonna beat you, and he's like, no, you're not even one of us.
You're not one of us.
Yeah, he just like rips his arm
Crush.
off and knocks his jaw off in like some crazy scene. Like, bro, Oliver, put the fries in the bag, bro. Like, it's time. And then it shows,
Is that
um,
when Mark tried to punch him, or was that
yeah,
after
this is
they?
when no, this is when Mark was like, no, uh, I killed Conquest and I'll kill you. And he's like, show me. And then it shows Anissa like
Anissa.
thirsty as hell. Like we'll talk about that. We'll see that later on. But like Anissa was looking thirsty as hell when he said that. Because mind you, they don't know where Conquest is. Like I saw something about that. Like they have no idea. Like they think he's still alive. And Mark comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Yeah, I killed Conquest." And like, whoa, Conquest is like the second powerful. Like he's Conquest is better than Craig, bro. Like dude, Craig is not like that. Even
Craig
though
a
like
fraud. Craig
yeah,
a
Craig's a
fraud.
frog, but like when they hear he killed Conquest, they're like, whoa, like he might be worthy. And then Thrag's kind of impressed. I think Thrag was impressed. That's why he
Show
didn't want
me.
to kill him either. He's like, show me, yep. And
Yeah, but dude, Mark went to punch him with like everything he had, and then you see like
impact
yeah,
frames.
like
He
the
had
demon,
impact frames.
yeah. And he like showed like the demon skull for a
Yeah.
second.
But it did show him like he was bracing because like I feel like I seen some too where it's like he actually braced for his attack. Like even like no like when Oliver he ain't even like really tried for it, but he really braced for that. And because I feel like maybe he could have done some damage because in the comics it shows him like actually making Thrag bleed. I mean he got no low nosebleed, but in this he's just sitting there menacingly. What Patrick said? He's just standing there menacingly. And
Is that whenever and then Nolan comes back after that, right? He's like space racer with me, and then
yeah,
he gets like
mind
him,
you, he's
Alan.
still flying in the next
Yeah.
scene, flying away. Oh my gosh, bro! Like, how is
Bro,
he
it looked
still?
like he punched him so hard it looked like one of the space landings on Earth where like the fire goes around you and like breaking the atmosphere.
Yes, yes. And then yeah. So what happens? Remind me what happens next.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Isn't
of how they
that
get Thrag away for a little bit.
Oh, the destroy the planet.
yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
Duh.
what I'm
destroy the
saying. That's
planet, but how did
whenever
like because Mark was fighting Thrag, did he just like
Yeah, and
dip?
then they cut back to Nolan, and he's like, "All right, I know what to
he,
do." And they're
and Nolan's
like,
like flying down, he's like space racer with me, and then I guess that's whenever Thrag's like,
"Yeah,
no way, and then Mark goes with them, and then one bullet, and then I like that scene when they're like flying through the core and
yeah,
everything.
that was a good scene. That was a good scene." So he
Or
tells
not
Space
Alan,
Racer
Thaddeus.
if
Or
that is
Thaddeus,
Thaddeus,
yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
and Nolan,
Nolan.
and
Yeah.
so he tells Space Racer to shoot one at the core of the planet or at the planet, and it's a everlasting beam. Which also, when does that like he just shoots it willingly? Like he don't really care like where it goes. Does it ever end?
No, I saw a video about this. Like it's like the energy eventually vaporizes, but it's not like based on impact. It's like a time thing. So that's why he has to be careful about where he shoots it. He just can't shoot it all willy nilly, because then he could end up destroying like
I mean, it
billions of
looked like
things.
he just be shooting that junk wherever. Like he don't
No,
really
he
He
care.
aims
must like
very. He's not just like he don't be like semi-autoing that thing. He'd be like lining it up and like
Yeah,
shooting
but
like a
he's
rifle.
still shooting it into space. Like he could not. He couldn't account for a planet that's like way.
Yeah, he might be destroying some planets, but they're not like. I saw a video
Yeah,
basically saying like,
he might be committing genocide, but it's okay.
all right,
Tech Jacker
anyways,
saves
continue,
him
continue.
too with when they broke his mask.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anissa broke. Space Racer's mask, and then Tech
Yeah,
Jacket came and like fixed it. But
yeah. Like
dude,
she's a
Space Racer murked
facilitator.
a few. Dude, Space Racer murked a few Viltrumites.
Yeah, he did. They did a good number on the Viltrumites. It was mostly Space Racer, but and he
Honestly, it
had the
really wasn't
assist.
that much because at the end we learned how many are still alive, and it's like, really? But
Yeah, I don't think they were all at that planet either. Like and all the ones that were at that planet were probably, except for those five there at the end that were
we'll
still
talk. We'll
alive.
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, so
But
they
then they
get
blow
to
up the
the
planet.
yeah, they blow up the planet. That was nice. That was a good scene. And then this is when Thrag just like, no, I'm done. Like I'm done playing
Yeah,
around.
Thaddeus gives
Like,
that speech of like Viltrum is destroyed, you must now surrender. And then you see Frack, he's like, no, I choose death. And
yeah,
then
that
just rips his shit smooth off.
he goes super speed, and they don't even know. Like Mark and Nolan don't even know what's going on. They're like, they don't even turn their head, and his head is detached from his body. That is, and that was crazy. I'm like, yo, I didn't know like he could just do that like that. He could have done this at any point to all of them. By the way, mind you, if he really wanted to.
Nah, I
But
think it
then he
was like I
saw,
think that was actually adrenaline or like emotional rush right there because he started crying and once a superpowered individual starts crying,
He could
they
have
get
done that.
like
He could have done
times
that at any
10.
point. I feel like if he
Times
really
10
wanted
though.
to.
That's got to be 10 times 10 speed. Like he was moving at the speed of light. Just
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy scene. And then
he beats
yeah,
the fuck out of
They
Nolan.
tell Alan and Tech Jacket to find Oliver, and then Mark and Nolan try to scrap that Thrag, and this is a beatdown. This is just nasty work. They ain't got no chance, bro. They got no chance. And
He,
you know,
he beats the
Mark is
fuck
just
out of Nolan, then puts a hole through his chest.
yeah, Mark is literally running away from him, bro. Like, bro, he literally turns around and you get a scene, you get a picture of like Nolan or a Thrag just chasing him down like this, like it just
I
gets
love
closer
that.
and closer. He's like, yeah,
And
it is
he was
good.
about to pop his eyes out too, but then
That
he
too.
realized that like if this guy killed Conquest, like he's gonna serve useful later. I'm
Yeah, I think
surprised
that
he
was a
didn't get rid of Nolan though. But
I
I guess at
well that
that
shows
point it
his
was just
like
kind of like
dedication for his race. Like
his people.
he still thinks they're like worthy of spreading the Viltrumite genes, basically. And I think that was a good shot. He's about to kill Mark, and then he looks up and sees like a
His planet's
destroyed
destroyed.
planet, and like all the other Viltrumites are like kill him, and they're like, no, we need him. The race of
It was like
Viltrumite
there's
must
already too
live.
little of us.
Yeah, he's basically he's like, which I think that's a good baseline for like his motivation in this whole show. Like we see that for why he does things in the way he does episode 8. I think that's like he's not just destroying things just to destroy like conquer everything, which I think that's a good way to show that. But yeah, again, they're just surviving in space. They can't breathe, floating guts hanging everywhere. I guess I can survive that. I don't know. I mean,
Just the head or the heart, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but like no air in space.
wait, they can't breathe in space?
No, that's
Oh,
why, bro. That's why Oliver had to like go get.
I thought Oliver was just like half bug. That's why he can't breathe in space. But
Well,
okay,
they have like better lung capacity than
I
Oliver.
see.
See,
I
Oliver's
see.
like never been to space. I think like that's what they were saying. Because they're always like that's the thing about space. Or he's like, how do you breathe in space? He's like, that's the thing. You don't. And they just hold their breath all the time. And the way they communicate is, I seen this too in episode 6. They got like this implant. Like everybody has like an implant in their brain, and that's how they're able to communicate telepathically. Which I don't know if all the Viltrumites
I
do though.
guess
Like
I guess he spared them too because he knew that they have like ties to Earth. So like
that too.
if anyone was gonna like talk reason into letting them be there, it'd probably be them too, because they're like, yeah, well, we don't let them here, and we're gonna turn into Ragu.
Yeah. Which is leads into episode 8, where Mark wakes up weeks in it. Oh no. This is episode 7 where they wake up weeks later and they're like, where are they? Alan's now the leader, which could be interesting to see how because he's like a lovable character, but like, we'll see how if it changes his character at all, where he has to like make the hard decisions now. I think that's an interesting way to go with his character. Yeah, it shows them weeks in advance, and they're like, "Where are they? We can't find them." And then Mark's like, "They've gone to Earth," and then it cuts off, and then we get to episode 8. Um, so what happens when in episode 8 someone started off?
1 second. I wonder if Thrag would have spared Mark if he didn't know if he killed Conquest or not.
Hmm. I mean, I think they see humans as like compatible, like they see them as worthy. So I think he would have kept them alive anyways, because he acknowledges Mark. He's like, "Your brother's not one of us," like, but
Hmm.
because they think, I guess they think humans are worthy.
No,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think I think I think Hodge is onto something there. I think he would have killed him if he didn't know.
he probably like realized how strong Mark really is and
Yeah,
how valuable
that's
he
when he
could
realized how
be.
compatible they are. When he realized he killed
Mm,
Conquest.
maybe.
But yeah, in
Well,
episode 8, so
well, I think they were doing that anyways because in season 2, when he fought those Viltrumites, they were like, "Oh, you're good. Like, go back and conquer Earth. Like, we acknowledge you." So I think that
yeah, but
was
Thrag didn't know yet though.
yeah. But Thrag gets all their order. I mean, he hears all the stuff, so he already knew about him. That's why he's like, "You're one of us. Like, your brother's not one of us." But I think that did solidify his thoughts about human, you know, and Viltrumite breeding, which is leads to the next episode, and it shows what happens when what happens at the beginning of episode 8. Someone go through it.
Yeah, I got you. So yeah, we get the scene of the Viltrumites uh getting the Earth and destroying everything and killing everybody, and then Mark
Mark's
wakes up.
hallucinating that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Mark
yeah, yep,
wakes up, I
yep.
guess.
Yeah,
And
he
then he's
dreaming.
talking with Nolan, and they're like worried about getting back to Earth. And Tech Jacket is trying, like, joins the conversation, and she gets ignored. Then they finally get to Earth, and Mark is like scared, like zooming
Going
through,
through
like
it.
trying to find the Viltrumites, and realize there's nothing's happened. And then I kind of forgot what happens there. So, How's you want to help me out?
Yeah, so I think Mark goes home after that when he like goes searching. Well, the season episode at 7 ends with him going like, "Oh shit, they're going to Earth." But so Nolan talks about how they're setting up like a defense system for Earth, and then Mark goes home to see his mom, and then he's like, "I have to go see Eve," and then I think that's whenever they see her,
He
and then
starts hallucinating. Well, his first hallucination was
yeah,
with his mom,
his
right?
mom, yeah, it was Thrag
Yeah, that
killing like
was.
ripping
I
his
mean, I
mom,
knew like
yeah.
they weren't gonna kill her. Like, I mean, it does like hang on the frame just a little bit to make you think that maybe he's there. This is like
But
the
they
I like this episode as like the PTSD episode.
I
Or the
think it's like the
fall.
epilogue.
Yeah, the epilogue. I thought it was good. I wasn't expecting there to be like calmness, but I do think it was like the way they handled it. Like I thought it was gonna be, I don't know. I thought never mind the fight on Earth or something like that. But
They couldn't
I
compete with episode 7. I think they realized that that was a smart pivot. I think on their part. I've heard people call the episode post thragmatic stress disorder.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
what
basically
like
just
everyone kind of sees that there's something wrong with Mark, like Debbie, Eve,
yeah.
he even asks Cecil for help. Doesn't Nolan come with him too the first time
Uh,
to Earth,
no.
or
Well,
no? Was
yeah,
he
I think so.
still?
But then he just like
Oh no, no, he came
yeah.
late. Yeah, he comes. What's it called? So he comes whenever Mark is with Eve at his mom's place, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, he
Nolan's
comes
about to
after.
go back to be with Oliver, and then she had that conversation with Paul, rest in peace to Spaghetti, and he was saying how like, why don't you go with Nolan to see Oliver?
Yeah.
Also,
Um.
I think I saw some a cool like Easter egg. I think all like the deaths he saw in his like posts, like in his trauma visions or whatever.
Mhm.
They were all like reenactments of the damage that Thrag did in the fight. Like he tore Debbie's head off, like he tore off Thaddeus's head. He took
Mhm.
off the jaw of Will. Anissa took off the jaw of Will when like Thrag
Drag.
took off
Yeah.
the jaw of Oliver. Like
I
it
didn't
was
notice
actually
that
that
either.
was kind of a cool detail I thought. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. He must be thinking about Anissa. He over there hallucinating her
Oh
because
yeah,
he
Nolan
know.
saw Debbie earlier too when he told her about Oliver, and that's whenever he like flies in front of her and she gets scared and he was like, "Stop trying to act like you don't know me."
Yeah. Well, I thought that was like, but basically he was like, "Yeah, I know you'll give me a second chance. Like that's who you are." Which I mean, that's a little. It's a little
That was so
manipulative.
forced, bro. Like I know Nolan has no game. Like it's just like
He got the
it's
hose,
so
bro. He
dumb.
don't actually. He got the lady. He don't need no game. He just know he got that.
He don't got it. He don't got
Am I
it,
still
bro.
your pet?
Mr.
I
Steal
honestly
Pet.
think they're gonna flip it on his head, and Nolan's gonna be Debbie's pet.
No. I do think I don't know if they'll get back together. I don't know if they'll do it like the comics where they get back together. But I mean, I think they'll be cordial, maybe.
I don't think they'll get back
It,
together, but I think they'll be like buddies in
cordial.
bed.
Co-parent? Ah.
Oh, they're fucking friends with
I think they'll
But
just I think
I
Debbie
mean,
will just be like, all right, Nolan, like
Nolan
I need a
also
little
said that
something.
like he was
Bro,
like, "You always
Debbie's
give."
not doing that, bro.
Nolan would
She's not.
definitely what?
What did Nolan say? He was like, "You always believe in like rehabilitation and second chances."
Yeah, like
And then
she
like
gonna
there,
give us
she's
a.
like, she kind of like, oh, then she's like pissed at it. She's like, "You put Oliver in danger. Like, are you really changing?" But then I guess she kind of came around. She's like, "I'll hear you out," but she was like, "I don't know where you're staying tonight, but it's not here."
Yeah, like that's the thing
So
you
it's kind
say to
of like,
your. That's the thing you say to your. Like that's the thing in the movies where they're like, that's a little yeah, but like you don't really want to mess with them right now. Like you just like you
Dude,
still they still a little mad at you, but like you still they still want to mess with you type. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
she has no interest in him whatsoever. She showed no interest in this man.
Okay, right.
She's
you
For
saw how
now,
he was
done.
holding
She
her when
only
they
needs
flew
him
up.
for her own
we'll see.
pleasure.
It,
But yeah, then she talked to
it's
Paul
gonna.
about like
Yeah, go ahead.
not being there for Oliver, and he was saying like, "This is your life. Like, this is why we couldn't be together. Like, you need to go with him because like, if anyone knows about this, it's you." And so I guess that's whenever this is after, and then this is you Mark and Eve see each other, and she's like, "I gained some weight," and he's like, "I only thought about how much I missed you," and then
Yeah, she was. I mean, is she realistically thick? Like, she just got
and then
thick
she
in the
sees all,
thighs. She
well,
was slim thick.
she sees Omni-Man. She's like, "Hello, Mr. Grayson." He's like, "Just Nolan," and I guess
No,
that's whenever Debbie,
I liked that they did that, and I like how they showed the strength of their relationship, regardless of
Yeah,
the
he was still
changes.
ready. Like, he saw her immediately and was ready to get at it. They still got at it. I mean,
Yes, yes, we understand that. But the conversations they had were more about like how much they're willing to do for one another, and they trust each other to go through life, and they know how hard it's gonna be, but they want to do it together. I thought that was nice. That was sweet. Um, it
and then
didn't
what
feel
she's like,
forced. Like
yeah, it was
that's
good.
all it was.
It was good that she also finally told him that, she had an abortion. Well, I thought they were gonna say that she had the baby and like I don't know what happened. Like, where is it? Because she was like, I thought like I didn't know how long they were gone, but like I thought if she was gonna be like I thought they made her thick because maybe she already had it and that was just her mom weight or her pregnant weight, and
that's what I thought.
or she was like bigger and trying to hide it that she was
It wasn't
pregnant
enough
still.
time. There was no way she had that baby. No
No,
way.
I mean,
I
but
knew as soon as I saw that she had no bump, she had an abortion.
well,
But
I
then
think
what?
that's
That's
also
whenever
what happened in the
Mark's like,
comics.
"I should have been there for you. Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry that you had to go through this alone. Like, I'm not gonna like." So he's kind of beating himself up on that.
Yeah, I think that's all part of like this whole moralist, like he's beating himself up on everything, and he's having PTSD, and he's having mental health
And then is that
problems.
whenever Nolan's about to leave, and then Debbie comes out, says like, "I'm sorry, I know you don't want me here." And she's like, "No, good, I'm coming with you." And he's like, "What about Paul?" And she's like, "It's none of your business, but we're not together." And Nolan's like,
Yes,
"Oh," he's like, "Oh, and we're about to be on space together."
he
But
better
then also
get
there was that scene whenever
wrecked.
he was like, he was like, "Do you want to see the view? It's quite astonishing." And he tries to put his arm around her, but then he kind of realizes that he's not there yet. Like
Yeah,
he hasn't
no,
earned that trust when they're
yeah, he's
looking at
not
the
ready.
view.
It's not there yet. Yeah,
And then you
so
get
a lot of good character studies in
oh,
this
but
episode. Go ahead.
Cecil, Cecil came to Omni-Man where he beat the fucking shit out of
That was a good
Mark.
scene
Yeah, that
too.
was yeah. He came, he saw him. He's like, you don't have to be afraid. And he was like, I will never not be afraid of you.
Yeah,
He was like,
which
and, he,
go
and then
ahead.
he was like, they essentially talked about. He was like, Cecil was like, he was like, so what you did was destroy the only planet that these people had, and now you're here. And he was like, how long is it going to take you guys to get here if there's a signal? He's like, 2 weeks. He's like, 2 weeks? You better be here, get here a hell of a lot quicker than 2 weeks. They're all probably going to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cecil doesn't know that they're there. That he tells them that they're not there, basically. Which could be interesting plot next season. Let's see what else happens. Mark
You know what?
finally asks for a therapist. Good for
Yeah,
him. He needs
Donna comes and
therapy.
picks him up.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, come talk. We need therapy. He's like, yeah, I need help, bro. I need therapy. Which is good because he then hallucinates again of Thrag. Like, he kills Cecil. Or I don't know what he does. He rips him in half. Or I don't even remember what he does. But
Yeah, I also don't remember either.
so he kills Cecil in his
Because yeah,
vision.
because
He's like, all right, I need help, bro. Like, this is OD.
and then
Which
Eve
is
tells him to go for a flight,
yeah. hmm And
and then he
this is
thinks he's
when
seeing another. Yeah,
yeah, this is where he like tries to calm himself. He's like, okay, it's just a vision. Then he opens his eyes and he's like, no, we are here.
Bragg is just standing there still.
Let me know. That's that meme music playing in the background.
Bro, the funniest part was like Thrag like he tries to beat up Thrag and Thrag's like, bro, just stop.
Yeah, he's like, just,
He's like, just
bro,
stop. Like,
fries,
just hear
bro.
me out.
He's like, all right, we're not here to fight. And Thrag comes up with this proposal, which is shows how calculated he is and how dedicated he is to his cause. And he's like, yeah, I want to stay here and stay here. And what did you guys think of that whole cliffhanger? Like he's like, I want to stay
It
here.
caught me
You have
off
no
guard.
choice. Yeah, it did. It honestly did caught
It
me
caught
off
me
guard.
off
I was
guard.
not expecting that
Smart as shit too. Like just blend
conclusion.
in.
Yeah,
Lucan
so
turns out to be Steve Harvey.
and
Mark
this
need to go. What I thought of that conversation was Mark need to go back to school, take some business
just
classes, take some
and just live
negotiation
his
classes because he didn't even offer a counter offer. He was just like, all right.
yeah. He
But there
can't.
was no, there isn't. They'll just
There is
destroy
no
everything.
counteroffer.
He could have
Yeah,
at least
Just
been like, let me think about this. I'll come back to you tomorrow.
think about what he about to get. He was about to destroy the planet.
He wasn't trying to destroy the planet.
You could have called his bluff and be like, y'all need us. You saying he
well,
could
he
have done
No.
was
something like
about
that?
to. He was like, because at first he was like, I'll never let you do this, and he was like getting ready to fight him again. But then he saw all the visions of like Earth getting destroyed, everyone he loves dying, and like he just, I guess at
Eve.
that point he was just like, no, we have to
But
like
my
give in.
but my point is he didn't negotiate any terms. He just either thought no, yes or no to
Because
what
that's what he thought it was. He was so afraid.
Well, that's what
exactly.
Thrag
That's
was
why he got
saying.
to go to class to learn how to
Either
negotiate.
Business classes
Thrag
ain't
was saying we
helping.
either
At
Thrag
least
was saying
learn.
we either live here
He
or
was
everyone
like,
you love is
"Oh, I'm a
dead.
little boy. I gotta say yes or no to what Daddy Thrag says." Okay,
Yeah, that's
no,
Daddy
that's not the
Thrag.
case. You gotta negotiate the terms, especially
That's
when you're in
Daddy
charge of the whole
Thrag.
planet.
That's Daddy Thrag. Do what he says.
There's that
No,
scene in season 2 or 3 when when they're like beating up Omni-Man in the space station or like the ship that they have.
Mm.
And Craig is like telling him, he was like, how do you become so weak with these like women on Earth to make a family? And then it cuts to Craig on the motorcycle with that
Yeah,
girl.
he's about to take
It's
them.
like and like the caption's like bro folded quick.
Shows Anissa getting hit on. It just shows them basically living normal lives.
Just
So
blending in, yeah.
yeah, that'd be interesting to see in next season. How that goes. Like, are they just gonna like leave that for a little bit? Are they gonna address it next season immediately? Like how? I I don't know how that's gonna work.
And
Uh,
I saw in the comics that interaction happens like right when they get on Earth, and it's
mm,
Mark and Nolan together talking to
yeah,
Thrag.
I think it's good having Mark. He's grown enough as a character where he can make these decisions. He really had no choice, as Thrice said. He's
he
like,
didn't have a choice. He didn't use his choice. He just said yes.
well,
Terrible.
he had to handle it on his own. I think it was good because
He
it
didn't
shows
handle nothing.
all his healing that he did, and then it still didn't matter because he still got to submit to this nigga, bro. Like he OP.
I mean, Mark's choice is kind of like an ultimatum, though. It's like you either give in and let them repopulate, or you say no and lose where you
I don't
live.
know if you guys
Or
are
you could
understanding.
say no and live to fight another day,
Because he was
as
saying if
in
you like say
train.
no,
He can start
if you're saying
training.
if you because you're saying if you tell anyone, like if you tell the coalition or say no, we're just gonna kill billions of people.
He could have negotiated the terms of the contract to get
Okay,
a
well,
better
you
deal.
negotiate with that nigga, and then we'll see what you come up with.
And I think
I would
like
have been
as you
like, give
said,
me a
like
day to think about it.
He
the
would have been like, no. And then
PTSD and the
what you would have said?
hallucinations also played a role.
I would have figured something else out. I don't know.
All right, bro. Like, you just chatting. You don't know what you was doing. You gonna submit just like Mark?
No.
Yes.
I
I don't
mean,
care about
it,
Earth enough to submit right away. I'd be like, I'd figure some loophole.
Yeah, but where you gonna live? Well, I guess you could fly away, but
I could fly to any
yo, the
planet I
people you
want.
love, the people you love is on that planet, just like in Mark. He had that vision. Okay, you ain't got
so
nobody
then
you love.
what? The show ends after he
You want
says, "I
your
agree to
girlfriend to
your
die?
terms," right?
Did you got a girl? She watching this, right? I'm gonna
Sorry,
put
you
a
said something? Would you
timestamp
say
in
something,
this.
yeah?
I'm putting a
Hmm?
timestamp right here.
No,
Yeah,
but
All right, what's
she.
next? What's next?
then we get like the credits, but then it's like every episode has like a scene right after the credits, and it shows Ali Atili, whatever her name is, um
Oh, the message from
giving the
Thaddeus
message to
to
from
Alan.
Thaddeus to Alan,
Mhm.
and he's essentially saying that here is the new Scourge virus. If you have like, it'll kill everyone. If you have to use it to get rid of all the Viltrumite.
No, he
No, he
basically
said
said
use
use
it.
it. He
He
said
didn't
use it.
say if. He
He
said
said
use it.
use it. He said I don't care if it kills humans. He basically said he
Because
don't care if it destroys the whole
yeah,
planet. He
he
wants
was
them
like,
to
if
be
I'm dead, use
gone.
this shit.
Yeah.
But there was also we forgot to talk about the meeting that Alan has with the rest of the coalition,
Oh yeah.
where like
Mm.
people are like questioning him, and he's just like, "No, we will listen to what Mark and Nolan have to say. Like they're obviously changing, even though they're Viltrumite." And
Mhm.
his girlfriend, or yeah, she was saying that you need to be like strong.
Which he does. Like he's a not a serious. He hasn't been like a that type of character. He's more like a strong and funny comic relief type guy. But now he's got to be serious in the role. So I'm interested to see where that takes his character. And now that he's a leader and he has to make the hard decisions. I'm interested where that'll take him for this next season. What do you guys? What was your favorite moment of the season? Real quick, each one of y'all can give one.
I'll be quick. Episode 4.
um,
Honestly, bro, whenever we
yeah.
see Thragmork Thaddeus, because you just at that point it's just like, oh yeah, this guy is. We haven't seen anyone as strong as him in the show.
Mhm.
Or whenever he murks Nolan, essentially. That shit
Yeah,
was so easy. He fucking
that
yeah, Thrag is
Thrag
just he's so
is
OP.
he's OP. That was a good scene too. My favorite one, obviously, I said it earlier, is episode 5, where Conquest is ripping his guts out, but he's still choking him out. I like that scene a lot, even though the power scaling is a little off. Like, yes, you could say that, but I just thought it was a good. I thought it was sick. I thought it was a nice scene. Yeah, so those are a favorite. All right, before we get up out here, what any criticisms you could say?
Animation.
Obviously animation is not good. I mean, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen season 3, episode 12, and the animation, even though like this is like 2 mil, the budget is all to like
Voice actors.
voice
He just goes to
acting
all the voice actors.
and
But
yeah,
there's also such a
he
small like this what is like a 4-10 man crew that does the animations.
yeah,
So the
this is
only
crazy. Paul
like
as a
season one looked so good too, but like they had
yeah,
3 years to work on season one, while now they're on such like a strict timestamp that they have to push out a season each year. But I feel like if you work on the animation more, like sometimes I
if you
swear
have more
sometimes
people,
it's just a PNG floating around.
yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes.
But the
Paul
dialogue
as
makes
a
up for it.
like a director yourself, what do you? I mean, like I don't know if you care about animation for real, but like, what do you think about the animation?
Thanks again, Donald, for the shout. But I'm not an animator. I looked at the comics. The comics didn't look like they were very well. The
No,
graphics didn't
them.
look very good in the comics
No,
either.
I kind of like the way it's drawn. It's like way more detail than the show.
You think it still looks ugly? Like the characters look uglier in the comics, I think, than in
Yeah,
the
I
show.
mean, that was just his like way he drew people, I guess. But I
I,
thought it was
I
like
feel like
I
it
think it looked
match.
way better.
That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like it kind of matches the style that the animators went for here. Obviously, there's flaws. I don't know anything about animation, so I can't. I'm not gonna be one to critique it. I think it did its job. Like it wasn't like things didn't make sense, but it definitely could be more visually appealing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. These fights could look crazy if they like. I mean, I think they do look good for like they know when to pick and choose their times to have bust up their nice animation, but like sometimes it's just like a still image of a character just standing there, or like I feel like they could like season one did there was some really good animation pieces, especially when Nolan was getting struck by that lightning. That was pretty good animation. I remember that specifically. Another thing that it's not a problem, but gotta address it is like the power scaling. 'Cause sometimes Mark is a dog and he's doing all this and he's fighting conquest, and then he can't even damage Thrag. Which I mean, it makes sense if Thrag is just like that much powerful than everybody. But then like, how are you gonna beat that type of like? You could like write yourself into a corner where like this guy is way too strong, and like how are you supposed to take him out. Which they have the Scourge Violence, obviously, but like, is that gonna be enough? Like, how are they gonna do that? So, like, what do you guys think of like if you have any issues with the power scaling or anything like that? Like, do you have issue with that?
No, I mean, I just feel like everyone. I don't really care about the power scaling that much. It's like the main character is obviously gonna. He's the main character, like they're gonna do stuff for him, and like Thrag is Thrag, Nolan's Nolan. They're all pretty strong, but
Mm-hmm.
forgot to mention, dude, the little 2 minute side plot that Parks loves of Donald and what's his name? Cecil trying to get
Oh
Monster Girl and Rex back, and it just fails so
Uh,
bad with like the girl like getting like the tentacles and all. And they're like,
yes.
yeah, they're gonna have to find their own way back. So rest in peace to them too, man.
I mean, they do come back in the comics. I don't know how that works, but we'll
yeah, they'll probably
see.
come back in here.
Um,
What was the question again?
Power
the power
scaling.
scaling. I
Oh,
know you don't like it, but like,
um,
you just go quickly through it.
yeah, I guess there was something I wanted to say about that though. oh yeah, like it's called not like super strength, So like I think Thrag is gonna die from like some mix of Scourge virus with the Beetlejuice with everybody involved trying to hit him all at once, and then he just kind of like,
So you
yeah.
don't think Mark will ever beat him in a one on
It's
one?
not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a one on one, unless if we go through like 10 seasons where he's just training every season. Like,
I mean, I mean, how I'm very interested in next season, like how that's gonna work of him.
I think
Yeah,
Like,
I'm interested.
my prediction for season 5 is they're gonna start the first episode. It's all gonna be in Telestria, or like it's
Telestria.
gonna be like something not related to Mark at all,
Okay.
like a
Could
whole
be like
side plot.
what if it's like a monster girl robot thing? I don't know. Maybe come
Maybe
back
I
to
don't
that.
really care for that. It's gonna be something. I think it's gonna be something not related to Mark at
Oliver
all. I think it's
loading
gonna
Why?
in his
be
Goku chamber.
to make
Who?
you like go watch the second episode to go watch Mark.
I said it's gonna start with like Oliver loading his little like Goku chamber.
You got any predictions, Summer?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of like what the Viltra might do on Earth, like how they try and repopulate, like what they do to blend in.
Hmm.
I think we're gonna see a lot of that, and then eventually, I feel like the coalition will find out that they're there, and then probably gonna be like a big battle towards the end or something. Maybe Eve
Yeah.
gets back to how she used to be.
Hmm.
They find like I don't like the Guardians that much without Rex Flood, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but they're gonna
Yeah,
be
they're kind of
involved. But
whatever.
yeah, I think it's just gonna like go deeper into what the Viltrumite are doing on Earth.
Yeah, I agree for the most part with Samir. I don't know. I think they're kind of like. I think he'll leave the Viltrumites alone because they say they're like Thrak put his word that they're not gonna do anything. So I think they'll like try to do some like pivot to another story maybe. I don't know, and then come back to the Viltrumites at the end of the season. I think they'll do something like that. Like first half of the season will be like some other plot, and then I think we'll see a lot of Omni Man, Debbie, and Oliver because they're all in. What do you where? What's it called? I forgot this planet name.
Telestria, Telestria.
Telestria. I think we'll see all three of them in some kind of dynamic. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something. Um, yeah, that's kind of like what my predictions are for this season. What would you guys rate this season out of 10 before you get up out of here?
My favorite season so far. I feel like an 8.5 to a 9.
Okay. Paul.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. I agree. I think it's a 8, but I think it's season 3 for me, season 4, season 1, then season 2. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I how I rank the show so far. Any closing remarks before we get up out of here?
I mean, I thought it was. I know how I said I thought the season started out pretty mid, but I was super wrong. I talked about how I wanted to see Nolan get murked. Not really anymore. I kind of want to see what his redemption arc. I know Paul hates that. It's gonna look like with Oliver and all, but I also want to
You have
see
to get used
him.
to it, Paul.
I also want to see him fight Thrag, like legit him and
Mm,
Thrag go at it.
yeah,
That would be cool.
I want to see. I mean, I don't know about. I want Battle Beast to do something. I don't know if they'll do anything, but I want to do something.
Hey, shout out Dinosaurus.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be in
Dinosaurus.
season 5 a lot. I think.
I think I saw he was a big character in the comics. I don't know what he does, but apparently he's important. So maybe we'll see him. Yeah. So, yep, another season of Invincible on the Torn It Off podcast. We here, we doing all shows, all sports, all everything on this joint. So, before we close out, make sure you drop a like and a comment, and make sure you subscribe. We only got 16 now, I think. We on the way
17,
up, but
17, 17.
17. We got 17,
Hell
so we
yeah!
on the way up.
Hell
So,
yeah!
drop a subscribe, and then we'll see you on the next one.
Allez,
We
bon
out.
maillet.
Peace.
Peace.